What if I told you there are palaces so valuable that owning one could make you richer than entire nations? These aren't just buildings, they're symbols of power, drenched in gold, guarded by walls of history, and worth sums that can make your jaw drop. Forget luxury mansions or billionaire skyscrapers. Today, we're counting down the 6 most extravagant palaces in the world, from royal residences dripping in diamonds to the one mega palace so priceless it could rival the economy of entire countries. Let's dive in. Number 6. Istana Nurul Iman, the Sultan's Palace of Brunei. Hidden deep in the tiny yet wealthy nation of Brunei lies a residence so colossal it makes 5-star hotels look like guest houses. This is Istana Nurul Iman, often called the Palace of Light. Built in 1984 at a staggering cost of $1.5 billion, this palace isn't just a home, it's the beating heart of Brunei's monarchy. Size: over 2 million square feet, making it the largest private residence in the world. Rooms: a mind-bending 1,788 rooms, including 257 bathrooms. Garage space for 110 cars, because when you're the Sultan of Brunei, one Ferrari just isn't enough. The palace's golden domes and soaring minarets glisten under the tropical sun, while inside, chandeliers sparkle over halls big enough to host thousands. And yes, the banquet hall alone can seat 5,000 guests at once. But here's the twist. Despite its outrageous size and cost, it's still a working palace. The Sultan uses it for both official state affairs and personal living, making Istana Nurul Iman the rare palace that is both a royal home and a political powerhouse. Imagine living in a house so vast you could get lost on the way to breakfast. Number 5. Antilia, Mumbai's vertical palace. From Brunei's golden domes, we jump to the skyscrapers of Mumbai, India, where one man decided a palace didn't need to spread across acres. It could rise into the sky instead. This is Antilia, the $2 billion residence of Mukesh Ambani, Asia's richest man. And while it isn't a palace in the traditional sense, its sheer wealth, extravagance, and engineering marvels demand a place on this list. Height: 27 stories tall. But don't let the number fool you. Its ceilings are so high, it's equal in size to a 60-story skyscraper. Staff: over 600 employees work full-time to keep it running. Features: a snow room that generates artificial ice, 3 rooftop helipads, a 50-seat cinema, a ballroom with crystal chandeliers, and a spa. Antilia blends modern technology with royal-level luxury. Every floor has a distinct design theme, ranging from traditional Indian motifs to sleek futuristic layouts. And in case you're wondering, yes, it's also designed to withstand an earthquake, measuring 8 on the Richter scale. Because when you build a vertical palace worth billions, safety matters. If Istana Nurul Iman is about tradition, Antilia is about pushing boundaries, proving that in the 21st century, palaces don't need to look ancient. They just need to scream power and wealth. Number 4. Buckingham Palace, the beating heart of Britain. Our countdown wouldn't be complete without perhaps the most famous palace in the world, Buckingham Palace in London, worth an estimated $4.9 billion. This isn't just a royal residence, it's the ultimate symbol of the British monarchy. Rooms: 775 in total, including 52 royal and guest bedrooms, 92 offices, and 78 bathrooms. Garden: at 40 acres, it's the largest private garden in London. Balcony: the most iconic balcony on earth, where the royal family waves to crowds during historic celebrations. What sets Buckingham apart isn't just its size or its value, but its global influence. Millions of tourists flock here every year, and for centuries, this palace has hosted kings, queens, presidents, and prime ministers. It's both a home and a stage where history unfolds, from Winston Churchill's wartime speeches to modern royal weddings that captivate the world. And though Queen Elizabeth II called it home for decades, today it stands as the official residence of King Charles III. Buckingham Palace is less about personal luxury and more about being a living institution. A reminder that palaces aren't just bricks and mortar, but symbols of continuity and power. Number 3. Tokyo Imperial Palace, Japan's priceless gem. Tucked into the heart of Tokyo lies a palace so valuable, it's often called the most expensive piece of real estate on Earth. The Tokyo Imperial Palace, home of the Japanese emperor, sits on land so precious that at one point in the 1980s, experts claimed the ground beneath it was worth more than all the real estate in California combined. Let that sink in. Value: estimated at $12 billion or more, largely because of its location in central Tokyo. Size: 1.3 square miles of gardens, moats, and stone bridges. History: built on the site of the old Edo Castle, it has been the home of Japan's imperial family since 1868. From the air, it looks like a sprawling green oasis in the middle of one of the world's busiest megacities. Behind its walls are ceremonial halls, museums, rooms, living quarters, and carefully landscaped gardens that reflect centuries of Japanese tradition. Unlike Buckingham, which thrives on visibility, the Tokyo Imperial Palace is about seclusion and serenity. It's not about flashing wealth. It's about embodying a culture where silence and nature equal power. It's a priceless reminder that sometimes the true value of a palace isn't just in gold or marble, but in the land it occupies and the tradition it protects. Number 2. Palace of Versailles, the golden dream of France. If one palace defines opulence, it's the Palace of Versailles in France. Originally a humble hunting lodge, it was transformed by King Louis XIV into the most extravagant royal residence the world had ever seen. Value: rooms more than 2,300. Grounds: 2,000 acres of gardens, fountains, canals, and sculptures. Versailles was designed not just as a palace, but as a statement, a declaration that France was the cultural and political capital of Europe. Every inch of this masterpiece screams wealth. The Hall of Mirrors alone, with its 357 gleaming mirrors reflecting golden chandeliers, remains one of the most iconic rooms in human history. But Versailles isn't just about art and luxury. It was also a political weapon. By forcing the French nobility to live there under his watch, Louis XIV centralized his power and turned Versailles into both a home and a prison for his rivals. Even today, Versailles represents the pinnacle of European grandeur, a palace so influential it set the standard for royal architecture for centuries. And yet, even with all its golden glory, there's still one palace that overshadows it all. Number 1. The Forbidden City, China's $142 billion crown jewel. At the very top of our list is a palace so vast, so historic, and so valuable that no rival even comes close. The Forbidden City in Beijing, China. Built in the early 15th century, this UNESCO World Heritage Site served as the imperial palace for 24 emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties. Value estimated at $142 billion. Yes, that's more than the GDP of some countries. Size: 178 acres with 980 surviving buildings and over 8,700 rooms. History: for nearly 500 years, it was the political and ceremonial center of Chinese civilization. The Forbidden City gets its name because, for centuries, common people were forbidden to enter without permission. It was a world apart, a place where emperors ruled under the mandate of heaven, surrounded by treasures, libraries, and armies of servants. Walking through its scarlet gates today feels like stepping back in time. Every courtyard, every dragon carving, every golden rooftop whispers stories of absolute power. Unlike Versailles or Buckingham, the Forbidden City isn't just one palace. It's an entire city within walls, making it the most ambitious palace complex ever constructed. And its value? Beyond the billions, beyond the gold, it represents something far greater, the soul of a civilization. That's why the Forbidden City stands not just as the most expensive palace on earth, but as perhaps the most important royal residence in human history. So there you have it, from Brunei's golden domes to India's sky-high palace. From Versailles' mirrored halls to China's Forbidden City, these aren't just palaces. They're monuments of human ambition, power, and wealth. Now here's the question for you. If you had the chance to live in one of these palaces, which one would you choose? The futuristic Antilia, the timeless Versailles, or the untouchable Forbidden City? Drop your pick in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to Mr. Rich for more jaw-dropping journeys into the world of luxury, power, and unimaginable wealth. Because the next story might just make your own house look like a shoebox.